Welcome to everyone, guys. I know it's been a while since I've worked, since I've did some picks predictions, but sorry to say, I had to prepare a bit, and you know how it goes. So let me see. 1 second, just 1 second. I need to turn my phone off. All right, there we go, guys. I'm gonna discuss Bellator now. Gonna see how this gonna go. I'm having a hard time right now dealing with all the pressure, and this Bellator event is planned to be the fireworks, and I do have a feeling that we might see some really great ups and downs, and be great. That's gonna be great. So let's rock and roll, guys. The first fight is between Victor Vercher and Burama Kamara. I have to see that Victor Vercher versus Burama Kamara is 50-50 fight, -110, -110. Exactly. But I like this. Burama Kamara versus Victor Vercher over 2.5 for +105. I do like those odds. I just have to add some meta tags. Right, just I'm gonna transition to the next one. All right, then we're gonna transition to the next fight: Joseph Kwabas versus Matthew Duclos. Joseph Kwabas is riding a score 2-0. French fighter out of Paris, France. Kongo Smashing Club. Lois Long and Pedro Carvajal, both victories. Matthew Duclos 2-1-0, fighting out of Voirin. Team Elite out of France, coached by Daniel Voirin. He defeated Matthias Rieucros and Lois Long. Lost to Wissam Mahmoud, and I think Yusuf should be slight favorite, as much as I remember the tape study. I think no, even odds. Let me say Yusuf Kwabas for the win, and for -118. Yusuf decision might sound like a great way to go. Guys, I was really doing a tape study for pretty much long time, but I was unable to find everything. Lucy B2, Fireball 330, 5'6", 64 inches of reach out of Paris. She is a heck of a boxer, but she lost to Jessica Borja, to Diana Filipa, lost in Muay Thai to Jermaine Durandam, a very quick loss, but she outworked 3 opponents, lost to Carla Benitez in her last outing. Yes, the girl has a lot of experience. Also, she fought Maria Verheyen, but against Katarzyna Sidura, that could be a problem. 5'4", out of Lodz, Poland, 5'7", 69 inches. She is longer. That's problem number one. And problem number two, well, this girl knows to grapple. I mean, she is not a dumbbell when it comes to grappling, and I think she's going to have ground pound advantage. She also stopped Darina Majuk. You know who Darina Majuk is, and she destroys people on the ground, but she can also get submitted. But losses to Sinead Kavanaugh, Maiju Suotama. I think Sadura should be a favorite. I think Sadura. Oh, Sadura is the underdog. I'm taking that all the way. Sadura to win +140. Sadura inside the distance. I'm taking this all the way, guys. I'm really taking this all the way. Sadura inside the distance. +340. Yummy. I love this one. I really love this one. So I really love this one. I like those odds, and I like those expressions. So now the next one is going to be between Yves Landau and Gavin Hughes. Yves Landau, or Ives Landau, however, 5'8", 73 inches of reach, out of France. He lost to Tim Wilde and Hiroto Osako, but he destroyed Terry Brazier with a brutal knee. And the guy knows a bit of Muay Thai, knows a bit of BJJ, but from what I've seen and from what I expected, this guy is brutally good when it comes to violent striking exchanges and fighting toe-to-toe. He's kind of a master in that aspect of the game. Plus, he has some of a Kimura. His BJJ is kind of so-so, but toe-to-toe fighting, he's so brutal. Gavin Hughes, 10-0. 10-0 for Gavin Hughes. He is 10-0 for Gavin Hughes. This guy is 5'10", 69 inches of reach, fighting out of Liverpool, England. This guy lost to Daniel Escatizzi, lost to Martin Van Staden, choked out Mohamed Yahya, and he should be having the advantage against Yves Landau. But Yves Landau's submission defense is brutally powerful and brutally good. And I think Landau should be a favorite in this one. But let me see what our book is going to say. Landau is the underdog. Man, I love this underdog. Yummy. Landau is the underdog. I really love it. Yves Landau, KO, TKO. I like Yves Landau, KO, TKO. Man, so many underdogs. I usually pick 3 or 4 underdogs, but today all the underdogs. Landau inside the distance. Or inside the distance, +240. I really like those odds, guys. Yeah, I do really like those odds. So I like this really. Soren Bak versus Charlie Leary. I told you, not much of a dilemma into this fight. Soren Bak to win. This is could be the lock of the night. Soren Bak to win for -850. Sorry, I don't have Bulgarian flag today, guys. -850. And if you ask me about the method, Charlie Leary, 6'0", 74 inches of reach. Soren Bak, 5'9", 70 inches of reach. Got to say that Charlie Leary is having a problem with absorbing strikes and with fighting the distance. He lost to Abdul Karim Al-Salvadi, to Atman Zaitar. Got knocked out on many occasions, and this time against Soren Bak likes to finish. I mean, one of the best Danish fighters ever, and he likes to outwork people. I just like Soren Bak via decision. That's what I like in this one too. Maybe it's not gonna be the plus value, but Soren Bak via decision. Bak decision. Shitty odd again. -125. I don't know. Even if I put Bak inside the distance, that's not going to be the greatest value. If you want to risk Bak inside the distance for +150. I like that, really. I really like that for Soren Bak to win this way. So let's see right now how's that one gonna go. And the next fight is some would say highly anticipated. I have some doubt, but I still think that Fabasari Diata hasn't fought super high level competitions. But 8-0, 5'9", 70.5 inches of reach, Edge Academy. The guy outworked Dominic Wooding and Nathan Rose. Some people would say, well, Cowboy, it was a high-level competition, etc., 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 etc. I think Jordan Barton is the real bridge between high-level and low-level competition. Jordan Barton is 6'2", fighting out of England, lost to Ciaran Clark, lost to James Kendin, but these were all tough fights, you know. Defeated Matthew Camilleri. I think if Diatta wins this match, that you can say that he fought high-level competition, because for me, Jordan Barton is something different. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys, but Jordan Barton is very, very durable, and Diatta might be having a problem if the fight advances into, especially the fight advances into later rounds. But I'm going to say Diatta to win for minus 280. For minus 280. I'm going to say Diatta to win. And that's the one I like. I actually really like Diatta to win in this battle. Now, if I really must go with other guy, like Diatta KO, TKO, or I like Barton decision too. Yes, guys, this is not a joke. I really like Barton decision. So just if Barton wins, decision could be the only way. He's already plus 225. Barton decision plus 400. Barton decision plus 400. Then we got Lois Long versus Tibogguti. Guys, Tibogguti is one of the most famous French athletes, 5'10", 72.5 inches of reach, out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. You know that this guy fought Sage Northcutt, Nasrat Hakparast, Chad Laprise, Olivier Bin Monsieur, Temu Pakalan, and Andrew Holbrook in the UFC. 6 fights, unfortunately only 1 win. Lost to David Taymur. I mean, this guy has everything for me. He is now a very well-rounded fighter, and he destroyed Abner Oliveros. Now gonna meet Lois Long. Lois the foot long, 1960, 5'10", 70 inches of reach. The Met Academy fighter was better than Michael Dubois, was better than Gianni Melito, and he is very well when it comes to submission game. He also submitted Walter Gahaja. He is having a problem with high-level strikers with good takedown defense. Guti's takedown defense is very, very good. I mean, he is a UFC level, so really a former UFC level. So Lois Long, I'm wondering, Tibogguti is a favorite. Let me say Guti to win. Guti to win for minus 115. Let me say Guti submission. Tibogguti via submission. I like that, or I like Guti decision, if you want to risk. Guti. Only Guti inside the distance. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. Guti to win inside the distance. Plus 170. Yeah, that's thank you, Optimal Wall. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for stopping by. I do like Guti to win via. I like Guti to win via decision. That sounds pretty much on point for me nowadays. Yeah, this sounds pretty much okay. Or Guti decision. Guti decision is plus 350. That's okay. Very much okay. Now we got high predicted matchup between Pedro Carvalho and Piotr Nijielski. In this fight, just give me a few seconds, please. I need to do something. Just a few seconds. Alright, here I am on the road again. You bet, Cowboy. Hope you're doing well. I can't wait for fights. Bellator is going to be good, I hope. Me too. I will probably cover both Bellator and UFC, as Bellator is at normal time for me, so that should be a great way to go this Bellator event. I'm really hoping it's gonna be a wonderful, wonderful one. Pedro Carvalho, 12.50, 5'11", 70.5 inches of reach, fighting out of Dublin, Ireland. This guy defeated Daniel Weichel, but he lost to JJ Wilson, Patricio Pitbull via stoppage on both occasions. He was better than Derek Campos, Mulca Vitalis, and Cecilia. And, when he's fighting smaller level names, he's not having much of a problems. He's going to meet Piotr Nijielski, Nijiela 16.40, 5'9", 72 inches of reach, fighting out of Poznan, Poland, BJJ fighter. At Babylon MMA, he used to fight very well, but he needs some really, really big competition. He lost to Valerio Mercer, so it seems high-level opponents don't match his fighting style. Carvalho should be a massive favorite. Carvalho is only minus 155. Carvalho to win minus 155. Carvalho decision. That's what I'm gonna say. Carvalho rarely puts people to sleep, but he is skillful with submissions, and I just don't see him destroying Piotr. Carvalho. Plus 275. Plus 275 for Carvalho to win via decision, and that's something I really and honestly like, and I'm pretty much looking forward to it, guys. Pretty much like it, so yeah, that's something I pretty much like, so I agree. I pretty much agree. Let me just change the description. Discussing preliminary card until minute. Alright, that's it. And let me get into the spirit of things. Like, you have my predictions for the main card, but in the case you missed, I will repeat them. Like Mike Shipman versus Gregory Boban. Mike Shipman is 14.30. Gregory Boban is 21.11. 6 foot tall, 73 inches of reach, 38 years of age, out of Edge Academy. This guy was fighting at RSFC, defeated Glenn Sparv. He was better than Tony Zanko, Emiliano Sordi, Brandon Farran, Renat Latifov, but he hasn't fought for a while. He's past his prime, that's a problem, and his submission game is so. That could be a problem. He lost to Mikhail Materov via submission, KSW, for example, but at M1 challenge he defeated Alexander Dolatenko. So Mike Shipman, 14.30, 5'10", and London Shoot Fighters fighter. Shipman was better than Pietro Pianini, lost to Fabian Edwards, lost to Costello Van Stennis, choked out Scott Futrell, Carl Noon, he was better than Yannick Bahati, Marcin Prostko, Dominic Clark, Craig White. I don't think Shipman is a favorite for a reason in this fight. Let me see. Mike Shipman minus 170. So Mike Shipman minus 170 to win. That's Mike Shipman. I say Shipman inside the distance. I do think Shipman has what it takes to defeat this opponent. At least I believe, but anything is possible. Plus 115. Shipman to win inside the distance is plus 115, so I actually do like those odds, guys. I do like those odds. I think these odds are pretty much on point. Now we're gonna have Laurence Larkin versus Kyle Stewart. Oh, just 1 second. 1 second, I need to change the odds. This one gonna be hard for prediction. Hello, Serial Killer. How are you doing, friend? I just changed my meta tags right now. Let me see. Laurence Larkin versus Kyle Stewart. This is tough fight to predict. Laurence Larkin, 35 years of age, 5'11", 72.5 millennium MMA fighter. Yeah, they say he's Kung Fu, but he's a bit of everything. Majority of his fights go the distance, as well as you can see. He also is a former UFC name. It's very, very hard to defeat him. One of the toughest motherfuckers I've ever seen. Now gonna fight Kyle Stewart. Kyle Guns Up Stewart, 6'0", 76 inches of reach. Fighting out of Mesa, Arizona, United States, Arizona Combat Sports fighter. He was better than Zach Otto, John Poppy, lost to Nashon Burrell, lost to Chris Curtis. Was better than Tim Caron, Mike Jones, lost to Eric Koch, Chancellor Contreras, James Nakashima. See Laurence Larkin, but that fight we should have. Yeah, Larkin is the favorite, but Larkin versus Stewart. Thank you, man. Go the distance. -120. Larkin to win. -400. And I do like another pick here, guys. And that another pick is going to be Larkin by decision. Just need to find the odds for Larkin via decision. Larkin decision, yes. Larkin decision +130. That's what I like too. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. Also, main event gonna be tricky for picks. Then David Gallen versus Benjamin Brander. Just need to open the window. It's very hot right now. All right, David Gallen is going to fight Benjamin Brander, and David Gallen 27-2, 5'8", 68.5 inches of reach out of Caen, France, adrenaline fighting fighter. He was better than Charlie Leary. He was better than Kane Musa. Lost to Nerja Veras and Daniel Skibinski, which was kind of surprise. But he destroyed Ross Pearson with a rolling thunder kick. I think the world has seen that kind of a knockout. Now going to meet Benjamin Brander. El Skeletto, 13-8-0, 5'11", out of Zurich, Switzerland, 3-6-0, martial arts. I haven't watched much of this guy. I only remember he lost to Chris Bangard. That's one of the only match I watched. But I think there is a difference between these two. I think Gallen should win. I think David Gallen should win without much difference. Yeah, David Gallen to win -525. I would even dare to say that David Gallen is a lock. David Gallen inside the distance. That's okay. And David Gallen inside the distance would be okay to me if you ask me. So, yeah, Romero versus Alex Polizzi. I have a prediction fight starts round 3 for this one. So, Romero Polizzi. Fight starts round 3. -210. And Romero to win. If I must pick a side, I'm going to go with Romero. So, -170. He's not the greatest favorite like here, but Romero decision might also be a good one. Romero is not that aggressive like he used to be. Right now, I don't see him being that much aggressive. Last to 1-5 for Romero decision. And Polizzi can take a bit. I'm not saying that his chin is super durable. It's not, but yeah, could be tricky, right? Then we got Chad Kongo versus Ryan Bader, and Chad Kongo, 31, 11-2, former UFC name, 46 years old, 6'4", 84 inches of reach, out of Widnes, England, kickboxer. Lost to Tim Johnson, was better than Sergey Kharitonov. First Ryan Bader fight was no contest, and I expect a very, very high-level fight. Destroyed Tim Johnson, Javier Ayala, but against Augusto Sakai, Ollie Thompson, Tony Johnson Jr., Vinicius Queiroz, Vitaly Minakov, I always fought the distance, even against Alexander Volkov, even in the loss against Muhammad Laval. And I see this going for 5 rounds. Ryan Bader, also former UFC name, 6'2", 74 inches of reach, 10 inches of reach disadvantage in the favor. I mean, that's the downside of Bader. Defeated Valentin Moldavsky, lost to Corey Anderson, defeated Machida, lost to Vadim Nemkov. I don't know what to say, I think this could go all the way. Hey, how are you now? How's everything doing? Yeah, I'm better. Sorry, I wasn't at the soccer game and we had to stay a bit longer. Beterbiev versus Smith Jr. Yeah, I've been on the soccer match today, yeah. Well, to be honest, maybe Beterbiev, but maybe. Just saying maybe. Yeah, today I've been main event, Kongo to win. I hate when they're late. No probs, man, no probs. I mean, thank you anyway. How much is Kongo to win? Kongo is plus 375. Beterbiev is very, very slow. Exactly. Beterbiev has a knockout power, but he doesn't have speed. So if Beterbiev wins, it's going to be a knockout. If the fight goes the distance, I don't see Beterbiev winning. That's what I wanted to say, exactly. Let me say Kongo decision. I know many people say Bader is a better wrestler. Yes, he is. I don't disagree. He's way better wrestler, but is he going to out-wrestle Kongo? Last one was no contest. I got no idea. Really. Kongo decision. Plus 1-2. I might put some money on him. I think he's having very good chances, and I think odds are off point. Bader should be a favorite. Nobody's saying that Bader shouldn't be a favorite. But guess what? Minus 510. Too much. Bader versus Kongo. Over 3.5 is plus 120. Over 4.5 is plus 150. These are also good odds. Who is the biggest threat to Canelo in your opinion? Which division? That's a good question. Which weight class? I mean, Canelo competes at multiple weight classes, so I'm not sure which weight class are you asking me. If you're asking about the current weight class where he is currently competing, then I would say Dmitry Bivol. But if you're asking about different weight classes, I would have to open standings and to see, because he is any weight. Ooh, okay, just 1 second. Give me 1 second. I must see. Boxers easily change weight classes, so I must see now. Hold on. Beterbiev shouldn't be a threat. If he drops under 160, Maybe Andrade could give him a hard time, but no, still no. GGG, no. Charlo, no. Bivol, yes. Yes, Bivol. You are right about Dmitry Bivol. I don't see anybody else who could be able to piece him up. No. Smith shouldn't be that much of a threat. Real? Is this some kind of a joke? 6-0, 5 KOs and the champ. Is this some kind of a joke? I don't know, man. If he ever decides to go to 160, maybe GGG could give him a hard time. Demetrius Andrade, he is fast, but he's not faster than Canelo. Maybe GGG could give him a hard time. Maybe, but you are right. I would also pick Bivol. Bivol, Andrade, Beterbiev, Benavides, GGG, Charlo. I say Bivol, GGG, Andrade, Charlo, then Beterbiev. I think stylistically, Canelo is a terrible matchup for Beterbiev. How are you, Robert? How's everything doing, friend? I think stylistically, it would be a suicidal matchup for Beterbiev to fight Canelo, if you know what I mean. I'm just saying stylistically, because if you fight a guy like Beterbiev, now let me show you a few things. If you fight a guy like Beterbiev, now guys with double pillars who are like this, you see, Canelo is constantly barraging and ends with this strike. You see, this liver strike, that's how he ends. And Beterbiev is always holding like this. This part of the body is always open. So that's one of the reasons why I think Canelo could be a nightmare matchup for Beterbiev. I think Beterbiev should stay away from that fight by any means necessary, if you know what I mean. I think that fight is a suicide for him. But that is just my opinion. Maybe I'm making a mistake. Anybody can make a mistake. So just saying, GGG beat Canelo twice, if not drew to him the second. GGG is a legit threat still, but is Canelo going to drop to 160? That's a problem. Beterbiev fight depends on how much punishment Arthur can survive. If he can injure the body shots of Canelo, exactly. If he can injure the body shots, and return the shots, get him moving backwards, he could win. If and only if. But you are right, exactly on point. He's already beaten him and was robbed of his title of pound for pound best. I don't know why they robbed him. That's one of the parts I will never understand. I don't know why they robbed him in that fight, because GGG is a legit threat. I think he has the ultimate weapon to defeat Canelo, but the question is, how is GGG fighting now? It's not, they didn't fight yesterday, if you know what I mean. It happened a while ago, but he is one of rare people who gave Canelo a very, very, very hard time. But you are right, maybe he has a secret recipe. Then maybe, I'm just saying maybe. Also, to be honest, Beterbiev fight, yes. Can Beterbiev survive a punishment? I think he can, but he has never fought a guy who hits harder and quicker than him. It's actually a disgrace, man. He should be recognized as an undefeated king of the generation. I don't know, man. You know what boxing judges do. In boxing, robberies are normal. Unfortunately, they are becoming normal in MMA too. I thought GGG won the first, Canelo won the second. Boxing is full of robberies, guys, so I'm not surprised, honestly. He's too old now, but he already took care of him. Canelo is already done. I think Canelo versus Bivol gonna be a good fight, but I don't see Bivol destroying Canelo, because Bivol nearly lost to Richards. I watched that fight, and Richards was plus, I think Bivol was minus 5,000 to win in that fight. And I told guys, listen, do not underestimate Leron Richards. And people were like, Vlad, you're high. Richards is a dumbass. He's gonna get knocked out. And did he get knocked out? No, he didn't. And then they ask, how did you know? Well, Richards is not the guy who learned to fight yesterday. I mean, he is a serious fighter, and people don't respect that enough. That guy deserves way more respect. I mean, you can rewatch that fight and see how it went. But I know you're diehard fans. You know boxing better than me. But I want to say that fight was pretty much that was pretty much aggressive fight on both ends, and I really enjoyed every single second of it. If you know what I mean. Every single second. I've never seen Bivol backpedaling that much, if you know what I mean. No way Canelo won the second fight. It was a draw at best, and now everyone says Canelo is a king of boxing when he just lost. GGG never lost after fighting him. I don't know, man. I told you, boxing is stacked with robberies. I mean, in MMA, if you rob somebody, it's very obvious. But like in boxing, you can always say he didn't have power, we were scoring clean strikes, etc., etc. In MMA's, robberies are way more often. Craig was a tough style matchup for him. Smith Jr. name value-wise is better than Craig, but lots worse than Richards. Yes, Craig was a tough style matchup. I just hate this shit, the bullshit. I can't respect the sport for doing those robberies. It's a disgrace. Sorry, man. Even my dad, my dad is a die-hard boxing addict. And for my dad, there is only one sport, boxing. And when a robbery happens, my dad starts yelling. So can you imagine how that looks like? Imagine me when the fight gets cancelled. And that's my dad when the robbery happens. So, yeah. Taylor Cutler still annoys me. Yes, that was one of the worst robberies I've ever seen. Butter, you mean Bader, Kongo? Have yourself a good day. Thank you, Glokta. I have Kongo winning, actually. I think Kongo has decent chances to win. And odds are pretty much off point. Bader should be favorite, but not minus 500. Maybe minus 200 should be okay. But it's just too good odd to miss. Plus 375 for Kongo. Like, some of my fans said Kongo split decision. I'm not sure who. I'm just not sure who said that. I forgot, but I think this is pretty much on point. That kind of pick, Robbing an undefeated fighter is the worst. But why are they robbing undefeated fighters? I mean, what are they getting from those robberies? That's the part of boxing I don't understand. My dad is, you got to outsmart your opponent, etc., etc. Okay, man. But what if judges rob you? You have no choice when you're getting robbed, If somebody robs you, you have no choice, man. UFC also has some questionable decisions. Easy Whittaker 2 and Ngannou were super close. Some judges had it like 49-46. Yeah. Also, Volk versus Holloway was very close. Lupita Godinez, Jessica Penn was very close. There were many high-level robberies. Just remember Ramazan Emev, Danny Roberts. I mean, nobody can tell that was not a robbery. That was one of the worst. That could have been easily the robbery of the century, if you know. No, the robbery of the worst robbery since the beginnings of this sport. That was a robbery by boxing standards. Absolutely. And why am I even laughing, man? I'm frustrated when a robbery happens. Arlovsky Sherman is a recent memory. In recent memory was a robbery. There were many of them. There were many high-level examples of robberies. I mean, we could name them all day long. That's true, guys. We could name them all day long. Tomorrow morning, I will record some predictions for new upcoming fights. I meant to say Collier. I thought Arlovsky versus Collier was a robbery. Arlovsky Sherman, I don't remember much. I forgot the majority of that fight, but Arlovsky Collier was a robbery for me. Yes, Sherman was on the card as well. I forgot. Yeah. I remember that Arlovsky versus Collier was a questionable decision. Sherman, I think he lost to Alexander Romanov on that card. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm forgetting a lot because of those pills. So one of the side effects of those meds I'm taking is forgetting. So just don't get mad at me. Arlovsky Sherman wasn't a robbery. Collier was a robbery. Yes, Collier. Collier was a brutal robbery. I've seen Collier win in 2 or 3 rounds, but in the worst case scenario, two rounds in the worst case scenario by him. Yeah, in the worst case scenario, it should have been 2-1 for Collier. But I've seen it 3-0, but a questionable 3-0. But 2-1 would be okay for Collier. I wouldn't argue if it was like 2-1, but it wasn't. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and that's something that pretty much bothers me. It frustrates me because they have double standards for some fights for some fighters. Okay, I understand that they want an older fighter on the roster. That's okay because of popularity, but I mean, don't rob that obviously. If you rob, just don't do it that obviously, please. It's just too obvious. I mean, if you rob, just don't do it so obviously. You know. Remember one judge giving Roxanne Modafferi the win over Casey O'Neill. I think that judge was high. No, really, I think the judge was high. And I'm not trying to disrespect or insult anybody, but the guy was high. That was the judge. Arlovsky versus Olenik. Let's do it. Apologies for spelling mistakes. Yes, I understand you. I understand what you meant. Yes, I agree. That would be a high-level fight to see. I would love to see that fight. How different would the UFC be if they actually had Hayes the win like they should have against Jones? Guys, I had Hayes win in 3 rounds. I thought Reyes won 3 rounds too. Also, I thought Maretta defeated Jones. I also saw Maretta win in 3 rounds. So, you know, I've also seen Maretta win in 3 rounds. Yeah, it would be very much different. You are right. It would be very, very much different. I don't think Santos or Goose beat Jones, but Reyes 100%. Santos versus Jones was a very close fight. Gustafsson did not beat him. No, Gustafsson did not. I gave 2 rounds to Gustafsson. In the first fight, I gave 2 rounds to Gustafsson, not 3. So I don't see Gustafsson winning that fight. But again, if you're saying like Santos Jones was close. Hey, how are you, Jim? How's everything doing, champ? Tomorrow I will go live for Veins, just to know, and I will go live probably for Bellator, but I will see yet for that. Let me see when is the Vein. Um, Let me see which time is the Vein, because I must focus on some things. Hey, my family, it's Baga season. I hope Baga wins, man. I really hope Baga gonna win. I mean, I want it so badly. I don't know when is the Vein. Which time is gonna be the Vein? Let me see. Does somebody know which time tomorrow will be the weigh-in? Hey, how are you, Ocio? Or Ocio, however. Looking good, thank you. Hate when people say Goose beat him when Reyes clearly beat him and got robbed. It makes it seems like actually questionable by comparing it to the Goose fight. I don't think Gustafsson won. It was so clear Reyes won. I gave 3 rounds to Reyes. First 3. Round 4, round 5 to Jones, 1, 2, 3 Reyes. That's how I scored. And Jones was saying to blame Reyes' strength and conditioning coach, which Jones is having excellent coaches, very wise, very intelligent coaches, but the problem with Jones is the fact that he destroyed himself. You know, his greatest enemy was himself, if you know what I mean. Like, that's how we say in my state. Jones' greatest enemy was himself. It was not any fighter, it was John Johnson his own. John Johnson his own was his own worst enemy. Otis, I wish you so much luck here, man. I wish you so much luck this weekend. Just wish luck to my mod Otis. His student is having a battle this weekend, and let's hope he's gonna win. I really hope he's gonna win. No, man, I hope you're gonna win. We spoke about that on Instagram. There are some things that I'm not allowed to share here because somebody could be watching this and. But anyway, we talked about that, and I'm pretty much sure that fight is a waste of time. Your student gonna win easily. Reyes piecing him up while he still had gas. Well, the first 3 rounds went in the favor of Reyes. I'm pretty much confident on that. I'm pretty much confident on that, man. I mean, that's what I think is going to happen, of course. Reyes was really pissing him up while he had a gas tank, Robert. You are right about that. Reyes was working well while his gas tank was on point. When the gas tank was off, he was losing rounds. And his gas tank was pretty much off in championship rounds. He didn't look good. But in the first 3 rounds, his power was excellent. The power of his strikes was great. His speed, footwork, everything was on point. I don't think John Jones won championship rounds because he was mentally stronger. No. It's just because of the lack of preparation, physical preparation on the end of Reyes. Maybe his strength and conditioning coach really didn't do a great job. I really think his strength and conditioning coach didn't do a good job. But that's just my opinion. I used to be a strength and conditioning coach, and I've seen Reyes significantly slowing down upon the start of round 4. So, just from my perspective, I do think he didn't do a great job. And then he went on to get KO'd twice in a row. Exactly. But he got knocked out against Prohashka because his tactics was brutally bad. When you're fighting an aggressive man who constantly creates new angles and cuts your space, then you should try to wrestle or move to the side like Aljo did in the second fight against Jan, for example. Since Jones came up in conversation, what is your take on his multiple USADA violations, police interactions? Reyes also beat him. What can I say about that, man? I don't even know why he was doing that. I don't understand him. I understand, listen, as a fighter, as an athlete, you must be crazy to be UFC champ. That's okay. I've got nothing against it, but I have something against breaking those policies and cheating. I don't think it's okay. I got to criticize for that because I don't think it's okay. I mean, This is sport. The best competitor should win, but stay away from PEDs, man. It's a necessary part of life. I think this was 3 or 4 USADA violations. I completely forgot. There was that hit and run incident. There was Turinabo incident. There were picograms. He was having more incidents. I forgot all of them, but I'm forgetting a lot because of those meds. So please remind me. He was having more incidents. What's happening with my brain, man? In the week of the fight, he had something. Like, they found some suspicious sample. Then they let him fight against Goose for the second time. Sorry, I forgot. That's what makes me wonder how these people think Jones will take the heavyweight belt when he's getting pissed up by a guy who isn't champ level at 205 today. I don't see Jones taking heavyweight belt. That's number one. Number two, Jones looks muscular. That's okay. But bigger muscles decrease the levels of your cardio, and you know that very well. If you ask me who I afraid more, is it going to be Thiago the Pitbull Alves or Nate Diaz? You know what will be my response? I'm dead ass, man. I'm afraid of Nate Diaz. I would never afraid of a guy like, for example, Thiago the Pitbull Alves, like big muscle, strong etc. Believe me, guys like Nate Diaz are the toughest motherfuckers in the planet Earth. Guys without muscles, they can take brutal beating. For example, Blagoy Ivanov. No, and this is not a joke. Nikolai Negumereanu, he is not having big muscles too. No way, he doesn't get KO'd by Ngannou. He's gonna get KO'd by Ngannou if that fight happens. And I think he's in works to fight Miocic. Correct me if I'm wrong. The entire hotel incident with his fiancée and children. Oh, thank you for making me remember that. Yeah, I remember. How can you be like that towards your fiancée, man? I mean, if you want to argue, just don't do it in public. It's okay to argue, but like, this was a drama. I think prime form Stipe beats him confidently too. Well, we have a problem. Stipe is past his prime. Prime Stipe was a different story, but we have a problem. Stipe is not in his prime anymore. At least I think he's not. I think we've seen the best of Stipe Miocic. I do think that we still haven't seen the best of Stipe Miocic. But again, there are possibilities, there are endless possibilities, and there's a chance that some of us might be making a mistake. Guys, also, there is a chance that I will be a guest at some local TV, next week, just to know. But this is 50-50. They called me and they are still trying to, to negotiate etc. But there is a solid chance that I will be guest at a local TV station next week. So, I'm starting to like this life, this celebrity life. It's starting to look okay. I just think it's okay. I'm getting a lot of recognition. That's good. That's very, very good. Prime Stipe was a fucking monster. Yes, he was, but there is a problem. Stipe is past his prime. That's a problem. Prime Stipe would be having excellent chances against Johnny Boy. But again, sorry, I haven't turned off my phone. I completely forgot. I'm an idiot. Okay, I will check messages later, whatever it is. I'm just an idiot, but okay. I'll check them later, I promise. True. Prime Stipe was a monster, and Prime Stipe would be having a great chances against Johnny Boy. Like, I will be live for 5 more minutes, guys. Just to know, 5 more minutes. I will be live. And of course, if you have some questions, if you have some dilemmas, please don't hesitate to ask. I will try to discover 7 most confident picks. For what? For UFC, I don't have 7 most confident. No, I don't have 7 most confident for UFC. I put my money on Chandler and Canelo. These are my most confident picks. For Bellator, okay, I will try to go through it. For Bellator, my most confident pick is going to be Soren Buck to win. Yes, Soren Buck to win is my most confident. And I'm pretty much confident in Pedro Carvajal. Let me see. This weekend. Okay, I'll check. But from LFA, I have high level of confidence in Roland Dunlop to win. PFL, Kayla Harrison. Larissa Pacheco, very confident. Julia Budd, kinda say I'm confident. UFC, I put my money on Chandler only. But I do see Andre Fialho winning too. Like, very much confident. I also have, let's say, I'm not super confident in Lupita, but I also see her winning. Yeah, I told you my picks. Polizzi or Yoel, but goes the distance. Yes, but I told you my picks. Like, I don't know whether it was 7 or it was like Canelo, it was Chandler, Lupita Godinez, Andre Fialho, Soren Buck, Kayla Harrison, Larissa Pacheco. Fight of the night picks. Fight of the night. Which one could be fight of the night? Okay, that's a bit harder question. Just give me... Okay, I need to think. Fight of the night. My pick for the fight of the night in Bellator is Pedro Carvalho versus Piotr Nijielski. And UFC pick for the fight of the night... I've got few favorites, but I have 3 favorites for the fight of the night. Number 1 is Chandler versus Ferguson for fight of the night. Number 2 is going to be Hoival versus Schnell. And number 3... I don't see Oliveira Gaethje being the fight of the night, like... Chaos Williams, Randy Brown, maybe. Confident in Leak versus Cooper. Not quite. In Cooper against Leal. In Cooper against Leal. I'm giving Cooper 60% to win. Like 60, 65. I'm like Leak, Leal, against Leal. I'm giving him 60 to 65% to win. But in UFC, let's say I would like to see Chandler Ferguson being fight of the night. Chaos Randy Brown could be fight of the night. Or maybe Brandon Hoival, Matt Schnell. That's gonna be a banger. Other fights, it depends. There might be a lot of grappling. You know, crowd is not much friendly towards high-level grappling exchanges. So that's an aspect of the game that kind of worries me a bit. Because if there is too much grappling in the fight, unless it's a bloodbath or the onslaught, it's hardly going to get fight of the night award. Guti versus Long. I see Guti winning. That's a pick and fight. I see Tibogguti winning that one, but that really is a pick and fight. But I still think I still think Guti has it. I still think there is a slight of a level difference between those two fighters. See Guti winning. Think Tibogguti, like the former UFC name. Alright, Long fought some high-level competitions, but experience should play a major role in that fight, according to my mind. There are like many. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you too. Good luck to you too, Spud, and good luck to you too. I'm just hoping PFL is going to be a great night tomorrow. Also, Bellator is finally at normal time. Thanks God. Let me see when it's getting underway. But I think it's very much of a normal time. Finally. 4 p.m. That's awesome, man. That's fucking awesome. Finally gets underway at normal time. It makes me so happy. Just want to know when is the other part of the tournament getting underway. Okay, that's gonna be a whole night card. How confident are you in Yael beating Polizzi? Maybe 55%. That could be a close fight. Yael defends all takedowns and uses boxing defensively. Polizzi has bad defense. 55% because I have a reasonable doubt that Yael's cardio, but Polizzi's defense is pretty much off point. Plus, Polizzi is very predictable when he makes that penetration step and attacks via takedown. He is pretty much predictable. He doesn't know to feint or hide his real intentions, which kinda make me wonder whether he is going to have chances against Yoel Romero. Do you think Fury won't fight Usyk because it's a bad matchup for him? Yes. Usyk is a terrible matchup for him, and I think he will try to duck Usyk by any means necessary. And Usyk is not like a bad matchup for him, it's a terrible matchup for him. I mean, you are right about that, Robert. Stylistically, that's a terrible matchup for him. And he should try to fade it by any means necessary. If I was him, I would have tried to fade that fight by any means necessary, if you know what I mean. I would do the same, so if he fades that fight, I'm not gonna blame him if he fades that fight. Stylistically, it really is a bad matchup for him because Usyk moves a lot. He's not like a typical heavyweight, you know. He is different than a typical heavyweight. Like in heavyweight, movement is not that critical, but in Usyk's case, movement is extremely critical. He never mentions someone's set because he thinks it's tough for him. I know, man. I think there is a chance that he won't fight Usyk. I mean, as a champ, you have a right to choose. So, unless boxing commission says that he has to deal with Usyk, I don't see him doing that. He never trash talks Usyk ever. Yeah, he never does that. And Fury is focused. Fury is pretty much focused, and he is a great boxer. But you know, when someone is stylistically a terrible matchup for you, well, you will probably try to fade him by any means necessary. So makes sense, guys. It's normal to try to duck somebody if he's bad matchup. Alright, guys, I will have to go now. Need to get some sleep, need to do some things tomorrow. And then we're gonna rock and roll. So happy to announce for Bellator I will probably go live. Also for last minute picks and predictions. And of course, UFC 274. Night, everyone. Goodbye and catch you later.